Good morning, mate. Today I'm going to discuss a game I just played in the morning at 5:42 a.m. And by the way, I'm using Telstra Air now, so it's fantastic. And I played against this guy who is Australian, and his name is Steve van der Wal, which is a Dutch name in my opinion. If I'm wrong, then you must be eating too much Vegemite. Alright, so I was black in this game, and Steve van der Wal was white, and we are actually just playing out of our inability to sleep, probably in the morning or something else.
You're already awake.
I was awake already. Sorry.
That's not.
And let's just start the game because that's the main reason why you're actually watching this. Other than that, maybe you're just interested in my name, something like that. Okay, understand. It started with d4, and hello, say hi. Okay, d4, and then I responded with f5. Knight goes to c3,
Hello, just now.
and I went for e6, which is a Dutch defense Rafael variation. It doesn't sound like a Dutch name, but anyway. And the idea of e6 here is clear, to make sure that there is a way for the dark square bishop. h3 was moved by white. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this move is, and it is actually deemed as inaccuracy by the computer or the engine. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, it's just a move that benefits me. And b6 was moved by me to fianchetto the bishop. Now e4 was moved by white, and of course f takes e4, and then knight takes e4, knight f6, offering the exchange of knights. And here knight goes to g5 was moved by Steve van der Wal, or oranjechess. Orange is orange, I think.
But that's not Dutch.
That's a Dutch way of saying orange, which is
Gitu ya.
quite weird.
Gini ya.
Bishop e7, batterying up the queen and the bishop to attack the knight in case my knight is actually removed from that area. Bishop d3, threatening the pawn at h7, but it's actually being protected by the knight at f6, which is good. So castle kingside, and then knight at 1 goes to f3. That knight's actually pretty dangerous, and it can move to a good outpost at e5. Bishop goes to b7 is actually an inaccurate move there, but instead of moving the knight to e5 there, it seems that white doesn't want to sacrifice the pawn at g2, even though it's actually gonna be beneficial to build a strong attack. Yeah. Queen e2 was moved. Seems to be inaccurate to my perspective. I just moved my pawn to c5, push my pawn to c5 there to make sure that I can do some counterattack, probably trying to attack the pawn at f2 there, because there is a rook here, and of course it's gonna be a strong attack if I can do that. c3 was moved to sort of attack or support the pawn at d4. C takes d4. Now bishop goes to d2. seems that white is actually trying to plan something such as castling king's queenside, or maybe after d takes c, and then bishop will take c3, which happens in the game. So after d takes c3, bishop takes c3, but it's actually losing for white, and it's actually winning because after bishop goes to take c3, I move h6 there, and it seems that knight is actually under fire. It is recommended by the engine to move the pawn to h4 to make sure that the h file is actually gonna be occupied by the rook, but didn't happen here. Knight takes e6 happened instead. I simply move d takes e6 there, and then queen takes e6 check. It's actually winning for white. I move my king to h8 here, and it's actually a blunder. You can believe it or not. But the next move that white needs to do is actually knight goes to e5 there to do an attack towards the weak square of f7 there, and there is a threat of forking the king and the queen, but that didn't happen. Instead, knight goes to h4, which is a blunder move done by white. From this move, I can understand that it wants to put its knight at the square of g6, but simply I move my queen to take d3 first, and all of the sudden there is no chance of putting the knight to the square of g6 there, because my queen is protecting it. And by the way, after this position, white resigned because it's basically losing a piece. And also, can you believe it or not, it's actually not the bishop at e7 there is actually immune. In case queen takes, then I simply can move my rook to e8, and all of a sudden the queen is actually being pinned because the king is actually behind it. So
Thank you for watching.
Pretty strong game, and I won this game because I'm lucky, I suppose. White made a blunder after I made a blunder. So thank you for watching. See ya.